The fluorescent
Did you think
lights
I
of Seoul
wouldn't
Mart
find out?
hummed in the
What?
near-empty
How did you-
convenience store.
It doesn't matter.
Amara restocked shelves
Tell
with
the truth.
mechanical
Only when you're talking
precision,
to the
her
fat
hands
Lights
moving
out,
automatically
lighting!
after another 12-hour shift. 3 months in South Korea, and this was her life, standing behind a counter, serving customers who barely looked at her, sending every spare one back home to her mother in Ghana. The clock read 11:43 p.m. Soon she could close, walk 20 minutes to her tiny room, sleep 4 hours, then start again. This wasn't the life she'd imagined when she'd accepted the teaching position that fell through 2 weeks after she'd arrived. Now she worked 3 part-time jobs, invisible in a city that didn't see her. The door chimed. Amara looked up, expecting the usual late-night customers, students buying ramen, taxi drivers grabbing coffee. Instead, a man entered. Tall, probably early 30s, wearing a perfectly tailored black suit that screamed expensive. His face was striking but cold, sharp features that looked like they'd been carved from stone. He walked past the aisles without looking at anything, just moved to the small seating area in the corner and sat down. Didn't buy anything, didn't browse, just sat, staring at nothing. And the strangest thing, the 2 customers who'd been in the store immediately left, without buying what they'd come for. Just left. Like they'd seen something dangerous. Amara watched the man from the corner of her eye. He sat perfectly still, hands folded on the small table, expression completely blank. But his eyes, they looked haunted, empty, like someone going through motions of living without being alive. She'd seen that look before, on her father's face before he died. That deep exhaustion that comes from carrying too much for too long. 20 minutes passed. The man didn't move, didn't pull out a phone, didn't order anything, just sat in that uncomfortable plastic chair like it was a throne of thorns. Amara checked the security monitor. Outside, she noticed something odd. 3 expensive black cars were parked across the street. Men in dark suits stood beside them, watching the store. Her stomach tightened. This wasn't normal. The neighborhood gossip had mentioned people like this, dangerous people who ran things from the shadows. People you didn't question, didn't approach, didn't bother. She should ignore him, mind her business. But something about the way he sat there, so isolated, so heavy with unspoken pain, made her heart ache. Amara had grown up in a community where you checked on people, where you noticed when someone was hurting, where kindness wasn't optional. Old habits die hard. Against every instinct of self-preservation, she grabbed a cup of the complimentary tea and walked over. "Excuse me." Her voice came out softer than she intended. The man didn't react, didn't even blink, like he hadn't heard her. Amara set the tea on the table. "It's free, the tea. We give it to customers who stay long." Still no response. She was about to walk away when his eyes shifted, just slightly, looking at the tea, at her hands, then slowly, impossibly slowly, up to her face. Their eyes met. His were dark brown, almost black, and in them she saw something that made her forget to breathe, an ocean of exhaustion so deep she could drown in it. "I noticed you've been sitting here a while," Amara continued, speaking despite every logical part of her brain screaming to stop. "Are you okay? You look sad." The words hung in the air like smoke. The man's expression didn't change, but something flickered behind his eyes. Surprise, confusion, maybe pain. For several heartbeats, neither of them moved. Then his lips parted slightly, like he was going to speak. Outside, car doors slammed. Heavy footsteps approached the store. The front door burst open. 2 men in dark suits entered fast, too fast. Their hands moved to their jackets, where Amara could see bulges that looked suspiciously like weapons. "Step away from him," the first man commanded in Korean. His voice was sharp, threatening. Amara stumbled backward, heart racing. "Now," the second man added. But the seated man raised one hand, just slightly, a small gesture. The 2 men froze immediately, then bowed, actually bowed. "Sir, this woman approached you without permission. Leave," the man said. His voice was quiet, but carried absolute authority. The 2 men hesitated, then left. The man looked back at Amara. "You asked if I was okay. Yes, I'm sorry if I..." "No one asks me that, ever." Amara didn't know what to say. The man continued staring at her like she was a puzzle he couldn't solve. "Why would you care about a stranger?" he asked. "Because you looked like you needed someone to. You don't know me. I don't need to know you to see you're hurting." Something shifted in his expression. Not softening exactly, but cracking. like ice beginning to break. "What's your name?" "Amara." "Amara." He repeated it carefully, like testing the weight of the word. "I'm Minjay." He stood up suddenly. Amara instinctively stepped back. He was taller than she'd realized, imposing. "Thank you for the tea." He walked to the door, paused, and looked back. "Be careful. This neighborhood isn't safe for people who are kind." Then he was gone. Through the window, Amara watched him get into one of the black cars. They drove away in perfect formation. She stood there shaking, not from fear, but from the intensity of what had just happened. The store's phone rang. It was the owner, Mr. Park. Was that really Kang Min-jae in my store?" His voice was panicked. "I don't know who that is. He's someone you never approach, someone you never question, someone you never ever talk to casually. Are you insane?" He looked sad. "He's the most dangerous man in Seoul. His organization controls half the city. People disappear for looking at him wrong." The phone went dead. Amara looked at the cup of tea, still sitting on the table, untouched, but next to it was a business card. Black. Expensive. No name.
I'll take this one.
Just a phone
That'll
number
be
in
2
silver
credits.
print. And underneath, handwritten in English,
Thanks.
"Thank you for seeing me." Amara didn't sleep that night. She lay in her tiny room, staring at the ceiling, replaying the encounter. Mr. Park's words echoed in her mind. Most dangerous man in Seoul. She'd researched Kang Min-jae on her phone, found almost nothing official, just rumors, whispers on forums, vague mentions in news articles that never used his full name. But the picture was clear. Organized crime, underground control, someone who operated in shadows. And she'd walked up to him and asked if he was okay. "I'm an idiot," she whispered to herself. But she kept thinking about his eyes, about the way he'd looked at her, not with anger or threat, but with shock. Like no one had spoken to him like a human being in years. The next evening, she worked her shift with nervous energy, kept glancing at the door, wondering if he'd return, or if his men would, or if she'd simply disappear like Mr. Bernard Park suggested. At 11:47 p.m., the door chimed. Amara's heart jumped, but it wasn't Min-jae, it was one of his men, the same one from last night. He walked straight to the counter and placed an envelope down. "From Mr. Kang." Then he left. Amara opened the envelope with shaking hands. Inside was cash, a lot of cash. Enough to cover 3 months of rent. And a note, "For your kindness. People rarely offer it freely. I wanted to return it. If you ever need anything, use the number. MJ." Amara stared at the money. This was wrong. She couldn't accept this. But another part of her, the part that was 3 months behind on everything, the part that sent money home, the part that was exhausted, whispered, "Just this once." She kept the money and hated herself for it. 3 days later, Amara was walking home from her morning cleaning job when she noticed a black car following her. Slowly, deliberately, panic set in. She walked faster. The car maintained the same distance. When she stopped, it stopped. She was about to run when the back window rolled down. Min-jae looked out. "Get in." It wasn't a request. I'm fine walking. It's not safe for you to walk alone right now. Please." The please surprised her. Against her better judgment, she got in. The interior was pristine, expensive leather, the scent of expensive cologne. Min-jae sat opposite her, studying her face. "You've been working 3 jobs. How do you know that?" "I pay attention to people who interest me." "That's creepy." A smile flickered across his face. "Barely there, but real." "Probably, but in my world, knowledge is protection. Your world? The one I can't leave. The one that would destroy someone like you if you got too close." "Then why are you following me?" "Because you asked if I was okay, and no one." He stopped, started again. "No one has asked me that since my sister died 7 years ago." The confession hung in the air, heavy, painful. "I'm sorry," Amara said. "She was the last person who saw me as human, not as useful, not as powerful, just as Min-jae, her brother. After she died, I became what everyone needed me to be. The boss, the fear, the power. I forgot there was anything else. Until I asked if you were okay." "Yes. And that's why you're following me? Because I reminded you of your sister?" "No, I'm following you because reminding me made me remember what it's like to feel. And that's dangerous. For both of us." Min-jae had his driver drop Amara off a block from her building. Before she got out, he said, "Someone has been asking about you. People who work for me. They've noticed I've shown interest. That makes you vulnerable." "To what?" "To people who want leverage over me, who want to hurt me through you. I can protect you, but only if you let me. By doing what? Putting guards on me? Making me part of your world? By keeping distance, by pretending this conversation never happened, by being careful. That's not protection. That's isolation. It's survival for both of us. Amara got out of the car, looked back through the window. I don't regret asking if you were okay, even if it's dangerous, because everyone deserves to be seen as human, even mafia bosses. She walked away, didn't look back, but she felt his eyes on her until she entered her building. That night, she got a text from the number on the card. Your rent has been paid for 6 months. Don't argue. Don't refuse. Just accept that someone saw you too and wanted to help, MJ. Amara cried, not from fear, from the overwhelming weight of unexpected kindness in the middle of her struggle. She wanted to refuse, wanted to maintain her pride, but she was so tired, so worn down, so close to breaking. She texted back, thank you, but why? The response came immediately. Because sad people shouldn't sit alone. You taught me that. And for the first time in months, Amara laughed. Really laughed. Because the most dangerous man in Seoul had quoted her own words back to her. And somehow, in the middle of darkness, that felt like hope. 2 weeks passed. Amara didn't see Min-jae, but she felt his presence. Her landlord suddenly became polite. Problems in her building got fixed overnight. The convenience store owner stopped pressuring her about working extra shifts. Someone was pulling strings. She should have been uncomfortable, should have felt manipulated. Instead, she felt protected. It had been a long time since anyone had looked out for her. Then everything changed. Amara's mother called from Ghana. Emergency. Her younger brother had been in an accident. Medical bills, surgery, money she didn't have. How much? Amara asked, her voice steady despite the panic. $12,000, maybe more. I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry, Amara. I know you're struggling too. I'll handle it. I'll find a way. But she had no idea how. $12,000 might as well have been $12 million. She hung up and sat in her room, staring at her phone. At the number saved under MJ, she couldn't. She wouldn't. This was too much. This crossed every line. But her brother needed her. Her family needed her. And she had no one else. Her fingers moved before her brain could stop them. I need help. I know it's too much to ask, but I have nowhere else to turn. The response came in 30 seconds. Address. Now. She sent it. 20 minutes later, Min-jae was at her door. He stood in the narrow hallway of her building, completely out of place in his expensive suit. Tell me what you need. So she did. Explained everything. The accident, the bills, the impossibility of it all. He listened without interrupting. When she finished, he said, Done. I'll have the money transferred to the hospital within the hour. I can't pay you back. Not for years. Maybe not ever. I'm not asking you to. Why would you do this? Because you asked. Because you're drowning and I can help. Because, he stopped, struggled with something. Because when my sister was dying, I would have given anything, done anything, to save her. I couldn't, but I can help you, so let me. Amara broke down, right there in the hallway. This stranger who everyone feared was saving her brother's life because she'd once asked if he was okay. Min-jae didn't touch her, didn't try to comfort her physically, just stood there, present, until she composed herself. Thank you, she whispered. You saw me, he said simply. Now I see you. That's how it works. The surgery was successful. Amara's brother recovered. Her mother cried on the phone, calling her a miracle worker. Amara didn't explain where the money came from. How could she? But the weight of the debt hung over her. Not financial. Min-jae had made it clear he expected nothing back, but emotional, moral. She'd accepted help from someone who hurt people for a living, someone who built power on fear, someone dangerous. I need to see you. She texted him one evening. They met at a quiet park. Min-jae sat on a bench, looking more human than the first time she'd seen him. Less armor, more real. Thank you, Amara started. For my brother, for everything. But I need to understand, who are you really, beyond the rumors and fear? What do you want to know? Did you choose this life, or did it choose you? Min-jae was quiet for a long time. Then, my father built the organization, ruled through violence and fear. When he died, I was 19. I inherited. I could have walked away, but hundreds of people depended on the structure he'd built, for jobs, for protection, for survival. If I'd abandoned it, rivals would have moved in. People would have died. So you stayed. I stayed and became what I needed to be: cold, calculating, feared. I made choices I'm not proud of, hurt people who probably didn't deserve it, built an empire on other people's fear. Do you regret it? Every day, but regret is a luxury I can't afford. My choices keep people alive, not good people always, but people. That has to count for something. And your sister? She hated what I became, begged me to leave, to be normal, to be her brother again instead of the boss. We fought the night before she died. Car accident. Last words I said to her were angry. I've lived with that for 7 years. Amara understood suddenly. That's why you sat in the store looking sad. I go there on the anniversary of her death, sit in a public place, feel human for an hour, remember her, then go back to being what I have to be. You don't have to be only that, don't I? No, you can be both, human and powerful, caring and strong. You proved that when you helped my brother. That was easy. Money, resources, what I do best. No, what you did best was seeing me, recognizing pain, choosing to help without asking for anything in return. That's not the monster everyone thinks you are. That's the brother your sister loved. Something in Minjae's expression broke, just cracked open, and Amara saw the boy underneath the boss. Scared, lonely, desperate for someone to see him as more than his choices. Their relationship changed after that conversation. Not romantic, neither was ready for that, but friendship, connection. Minjae started meeting Amara once a week. Always in quiet places, always brief, just enough to remind himself he was human. Tell me about Ghana, he asked one evening. So she did. Described her childhood, her family, her dreams. He listened like every word mattered. Tell me about your sister, she asked another time. He talked for 2 hours, about her laugh, her kindness, her belief that people could change, how she'd wanted to be a teacher, how she'd seen good in everyone. She sounds like she was wonderful. She was. You would have liked her. She would have liked you. Because I asked if you were okay? Because you're brave enough to see people as they are, not as their reputation says they should be. That was her gift too. Amara felt the weight of that comparison, being compared to someone Minjae clearly loved more than anything. It should have been pressure. Instead, it felt like honor, but not everyone was happy about their connection. One evening, Amara noticed she was being followed. Not by Minjae's people, she could recognize them now. By someone else. She called him immediately. Someone's following me, not your people. Where are you? She told him. Stay in public, don't go home, I'm coming. He arrived with 3 cars. His men moved like military precision, identifying the followers, blocking them off. Minjae walked Amara to his car, his expression murderous. Who are they? She asked. Rivals. People who want leverage over me. They know I've been meeting with you, know you're important to me. This is exactly what I was afraid of. So what do? I protect you, permanently, full security detail, new apartment, everything. That's not life, that's prison. That's survival. For how long? Forever. I can't live like that. Then what do you want me to do? Let them take you, hurt you. I want you to trust that I can take care of myself. Not against this, not against people who see you as nothing but a tool to hurt me. Then maybe we shouldn't see each other anymore. The words hung between them, heavy, painful. Minjae looked like she'd stabbed him. Is that what you want? No, but I won't be a prisoner of your protection. Then what? Teach me, prepare me, give me tools to protect myself, but don't trap me. He had considered this. Finally nodded. Okay, my way, my people, but you learn, you prepare, and you trust me to keep you alive. Deal. What followed was the strangest month of Amara's life. Minjae assigned her a security instructor, a terrifying woman named Jiwon who taught her awareness, basic self-defense, and threat recognition. You're not learning to fight, Jiwon explained. You're learning to survive long enough for help to arrive. Amara trained between her jobs, exhausted but empowered. Meanwhile, Minjae dealt with the threat. She didn't ask for details, didn't want to know, just noticed the followers disappeared. Problems evaporated. Whatever he'd done worked, but it cost him. She could see it in his face during their weekly meetings. He looked more tired, more worn. What did you do? She finally asked. What I had to. That's not an answer. It's the only one I can give. Some things you're better off not knowing. Don't protect me from the truth. I'm not protecting you from the truth. I'm protecting you from complicity, from being part of decisions you'd hate, from having to carry weight that's mine to carry. That's lonely. I know. Let me help carry it. You already do, just by existing, by reminding me why I do this, by being proof that goodness still exists. They were in his car, rain falling outside, Soul's lights blurred through the wet windows, intimate without being romantic. I'm falling in love with you, Amara said. She hadn't planned to. The words just came out. Min-jae went very still. Don't. Why? Because I'll destroy you. Because my world eats good people. Because everyone I love ends up hurt. Your sister? She died because of me. Because rivals knew she mattered. The accident wasn't an accident. It was a message, and I've lived with that guilt for 7 years. Amara felt her heart break. That's not your fault. Isn't it? I chose this life. She paid the price. And you've been punishing yourself ever since. Isolating yourself, refusing to let anyone in. That's not honor. That's just another kind of death. It keeps people safe. It keeps you alone. Maybe I deserve to be alone. No one deserves that. She took his hand. He flinched but didn't pull away. I'm not your sister. I'm not naive. I know your world is dangerous, but I'm choosing to be in it anyway. Choosing to care about you. You don't get to decide my choices. I could kill you just by you being close to me. But you won't, because you're not the monster you think you are. Min-jae looked at her with such raw vulnerability that she almost couldn't breathe. If something happens to you because of me, then we handle it, together. Things were good for 3 months, peaceful. Amara worked her jobs, saw Min-jae weekly, felt safer than she had in years. They never labeled what they were. Not dating exactly, not just friends, something in between, something that worked. Then her landlord called. You need to leave, immediately. What? Why? I'm selling the building. Everyone has to vacate in 2 weeks. I'm sorry. It didn't make sense. The building wasn't that valuable. Amara smelled something wrong. She called Min-jae. Something's happening. My landlord is forcing everyone out. Let me look into it. He called back in an hour. It's a rival family, Park Dong-woo. He's buying up properties near where you live. Knows that area matters to me because you're there. He's applying pressure. By making me homeless, by showing he can touch what I care about, it's a message. What are you going to do? Handle it. Min-jae, don't. This isn't negotiable. He crossed a line. I'm responding. By doing what? Hurting him? His family? By removing the threat, permanently, legally if possible, other ways if necessary. I don't want violence done in my name. Then you should have never asked if I was okay. Because the moment you saw me as human, I started seeing you as someone worth protecting, and I protect with everything I have. He hung up. Amara sat in her apartment, horrified and helpless. She'd unleashed something. Her kindness to a broken man had created a debt he was now paying in blood. She had to stop this, had to find another way. But she had no idea how, until she remembered. Park Dong-woo ran a legitimate business front, real estate development. If she could approach him directly, civilian to civilian, maybe she could defuse this before Min did something irreversible. It was stupid, dangerous, probably suicidal, but she had to try. She found Park's office address, showed up without appointment, demanded to see him. Somehow, shockingly, he agreed. Park Dong-woo looked nothing like she expected, mid-50s, grandfatherly, kind eyes behind expensive glasses. They met in his legitimate office. No guards, no threats, just coffee and uncomfortable chairs. You're Amara, he said. Not a question. You're the woman Kang Min-jae is protecting. I'm the woman asking you to leave me alone. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to send a message. By making me homeless. By showing that Min-jae's emotional attachments are vulnerabilities. That he can be pushed, manipulated, made to react. Why? Because for 7 years, he's been untouchable, perfect control. No weaknesses, no attachments. Then you appeared, and suddenly, the great Kang Min-jae is human. That changes the balance of power in this city. So you're using me to destabilize him? I'm using you to remind him he's not invincible, that he has weaknesses like everyone else, that he can be hurt. And what happens to me in this game? Nothing. You're a piece on the board, not a target, just pressure. That's a lie. Min-jae's sister was just pressure too, until she died. Park's expression changed. I had nothing to do with that. Maybe not you personally, but someone like you, someone playing the same game, someone who saw her as leverage, and it killed her. This is different. Is it? Because from where I'm sitting, You're making the same choices, using the same logic, and it's going to end the same way. Are you threatening me? No, I'm begging you. Please stop this. Find another way to deal with Minjae, one that doesn't involve me, that doesn't risk more innocent people getting caught in whatever war you're fighting. Why should I? Because I asked. Because somewhere under this game, you're still human. Because you could choose mercy. Park studied her, long and hard. You really love him, don't you? The monster of soul, you love him. He's not a monster. He's a man who made impossible choices and carries the weight of them, just like you probably are, just like everyone in this world probably is. You're naive, maybe, but I'm also right, and you know it. Park was silent for a long time. Then, I'll stop. The building sale is canceled. Your landlord will rescind the eviction. Consider it professional courtesy. Why? Because you remind me of someone I used to be, before this world made me forget. Consider it a gift. Amara left, shaking but victorious. She'd done it. Negotiated peace. Without violence, without Minjae, proved that kindness could still change things. She couldn't wait to tell him, except Minjae didn't see it as victory. You did what? His voice was the closest to yelling she'd ever heard. They were in his car. He'd picked her up after she'd left Park's office. I talked to him, resolved the situation. No violence, no escalation, just conversation. You walked into a rival's office, alone, without protection, without telling me. Do you understand how easily that could have gone wrong? But it didn't. This time, what about next time? What about when someone less reasonable decides your leverage, decides to hurt me? I can't live in fear of hypotheticals. These aren't hypotheticals. They're realities I deal with every day. They'd never fought before. Not like this. Amara felt tears building. I was trying to help, to stop violence, to protect you. By putting yourself in danger, that's not protection. That's just different pain. So what do you want? Me to hide? To let you handle everything? To be powerless? I want you alive. I want you safe. I want to never have to bury someone else I care about because they got caught in my world. The confession broke through his anger, left him raw, vulnerable. I can't lose you too, he said quietly. I can't survive that again. Amara moved closer. Then trust me. Trust that I'm strong enough to handle this. Trust that I can make my own choices. I do trust you. I don't trust them. Then teach me, prepare me, but don't trap me. Don't make me a prisoner of your protection. Minjae pulled her into his arms. First time he'd ever really held her. She felt his heart racing, felt his fear. Promise me something, he said. What? Promise if you're ever in real danger, you'll call me. No pride, no trying to handle it yourself, just call. I promise. And promise you'll be careful, so careful, because I can handle losing battles, losing territory, losing power, but I can't handle losing you, I promise. They held each other as Soul's lights blurred outside, two people from impossible worlds trying to find common ground, and somehow, against all odds, succeeding. Life settled again. But Amara noticed changes in Minjae. He was lighter, more open, less burdened. What changed, she asked one evening. They were walking through a night market, him in casual clothes, her in comfortable warmth. Normal, human. You, he said. You showed me I could be more than what I thought I had to be. That strength isn't just control. That protection isn't just isolation. That maybe, just maybe, I can be both the boss and the brother, both powerful and human. Your sister would be proud. I hope so. I think about what I'd tell her if I could. About you, about how someone saw me the way she always did. About how I'm trying to be the person she believed I could be. You're already that person. Not yet, but I'm trying. That's more than I've done in years. They stopped at a food stall, shared tteokbokki, laughed at a terrible joke, looked like any other couple. And for a moment, they forgot the dangers. Forgot the complications. Just existed. But the universe wasn't done testing them. Amara's visa was expiring. She'd overstayed because of circumstances. Now immigration was catching up. She had 2 months to leave Korea or face deportation. I can fix this, Minjae said when she told him. How? Connections. Influence. I can make your visa problems disappear. Illegally. Does it matter? Yes, because if I stay that way, I'm always vulnerable, always owing someone, always one wrong move from losing everything. I need to do this right. Then marry me. The words fell like stones. Amara stared at him. What? Marry me. Legal marriage. Solves the visa issue. gives you citizenship path, legitimate, proper. That's not a real proposal, isn't it? I love you. You love me. We're already building a life together. Why not make it official? Because marriage should be about love, not convenience. It is about love. The convenience is just a bonus. Min-jae, I know this is fast. I know it's complicated, but I'm asking anyway, because I don't want you to leave, because I want to build something real with you, because you make me better, and I don't want to lose that. I need time to think. You have 2 months. Take all of it, but know that I'm serious about you, about us, about building a future. Amara went home that night with her head spinning. Marriage to a mafia boss. It sounded like a terrible movie. But when she really thought about it, about Min-jae, about their connection, about the way he'd changed, it didn't feel wrong. It felt like the next chapter in an impossible story, one she was brave enough to live. 1 month before her visa expired, everything exploded. Park Dong-woo was arrested, federal investigation, money laundering, illegal operations. Everything he'd built came crashing down, and the evidence, it came from Min-jae. Anonymous tips, documents, testimony from informants Min-jae had cultivated for years. You destroyed him, Amara said. They were in his penthouse, view of Seoul stretching forever. I removed a threat. Legally. You did it legally. You asked me not to use violence, so I didn't. I used law, structure, the system. He's going to prison, not the morgue. That's progress. But you still destroyed him. Yes. Because he threatened you. Because he made you a piece in his game. Because I protect what matters to me. I'm not apologizing for that. I never asked you to destroy him. You asked me to keep you safe. This is how I do that. By removing threats permanently. By making sure people understand. You're untouchable. That makes me sound like property. No, it makes you sound like family. Like someone under my protection. Like someone I'd burn the world down for if necessary. Amara should have been horrified, should have seen this as proof of Min-jae's darkness. Instead, she saw it as twisted love, broken but real. I'm still leaving, she said quietly. What? My visa expires in a month. I haven't decided about marriage, so I'm going home, to Ghana, to think, to figure out what I want. Amara, I love you, but I need to know if I'm choosing you or just choosing to stay. There's a difference. How long? I don't know, a few weeks, maybe a month. I need distance, perspective. Need to see if this makes sense outside of the intensity of Seoul. Min-jae looked devastated, but he nodded. Okay, go. Think. Decide. I'll be here, waiting, hoping, but I'll respect whatever choice you make. Even if I choose to stay away? Even then, because you taught me that real love means respecting people's choices, even when they hurt. 3 weeks later, Amara boarded a plane to Accra, left Seoul, left Min-jae, left the impossible world she'd stumbled into, and tried to figure out who she was without it all. Ghana felt like a dream. Warm sun, family, normalcy. Her mother cried when she saw her. Her brother, fully recovered, lifted her off the ground in a bear hug. You saved me, he said. I know, big sister privileges. But she didn't tell them how, didn't explain Min-jae, didn't know how to translate that story into words they'd understand. For 2 weeks, she lived simply, helped at home, visited friends, remembered who she'd been before Seoul, before convenience stores and mafia bosses and impossible love. It was peaceful, but she was miserable. Because every beautiful sunset made her think of Min-jae. Every moment of quiet reminded her of his pain. Every act of kindness made her remember how he'd changed. She'd thought distance would clarify things. Instead, it just made her realize how much she missed him. 3 weeks into her trip, she got a text. Your landlord called, said someone tried to break into your apartment. Don't worry, my people handled it. You're safe, even here, even away from me. MJ. Then another, your brother is doing well in school, top of his class. Thought you'd want to know. The scholarship fund has been extended through graduate school if he wants it. Another, I miss you every day, but I respect your space. Take all the time you need. I'll be here, MJ. He wasn't just protecting her. He was protecting her world, her family, her brother, the people she loved, without asking for anything back. That's when Amara realized she'd already made her choice. Had made it the moment she'd asked if he was okay. Had made it every day since when she'd chosen to see him as human. She booked a flight back to Seoul, sent one text before boarding, coming home, to you, forever this time. Min-jae was waiting at the airport, alone, no security, No cars, just him, looking nervous in a way she'd never seen. They met in the arrivals hall, stared at each other across the space. "You came back," he said. "I did." "Why?" "Because you're worth choosing, because what we have is rare, because I realized something in Ghana." "What?" "That kindness doesn't make you weak. Love doesn't make you vulnerable. Connection doesn't make you a target. Those are strengths, not weaknesses. You taught me that." "I taught you?" "You changed your entire world for me, went legal, destroyed enemies through law, protected my family, all because I asked if you were okay. That's transformation. That's love. That's choosing to be better." "So what now?" "Now I answer your question. Yes, I'll marry you. Not for the visa, not for convenience, but because I love you, because you're the best person I know, because you make me want to be better." Min Jae crossed the distance between them, pulled her into his arms. "I have something for you." He handed her a folder. Inside were documents, Amara's name on legal papers. "What is this?" "A business. Fully funded, legitimate. A community center for immigrants, teaching language, helping with visas, providing support. Everything you needed when you first came to Seoul. Everything you wished existed." "You built this?" "We built this. With your vision, my resources, our shared belief that kindness changes things. It's yours. To run, to shape, to make a difference." Amara felt tears streaming down her face. This is everything. You're everything. This is just proof." They stood in the airport, two impossible people who'd found each other in darkness, who'd chosen light, who'd proven that even the most broken people could heal if someone was brave enough to ask if they were okay. "Let's go home," Amara said. Together. The wedding was small, private, just a few people. Amara's family flew in from Ghana. Min Jae's most trusted people attended. No media, no spectacle, just promises made between two people who'd saved each other. During the ceremony, Min Jae said his vows. "You saw me when no one else did. You asked if I was okay when no one else dared. You showed me that power isn't just control, it's also compassion. You changed my life by simply being kind. I promise to spend the rest of my days being worthy of that kindness. Being the man you believe I can be. Being human, not just powerful." Amara said hers. "You taught me that broken people can heal, that dangerous people can be gentle, that the most feared person in a city can also be the kindest. You protected my family, changed your world, became someone new. I promise to keep seeing you, to keep asking if you're okay, to keep reminding you that you're human, always." They kissed, started a new chapter. After the ceremony, Park Dong-woo's daughter approached. She was young, bitter. "You destroyed my father." "I know," Min Jae said. "I won't apologize for protecting Amara, but I'm sorry for the pain it caused you. He was a good man. He was a complicated man, like me, like everyone in this world. I hope he finds peace." "He won't. Prison isn't peace. Then when he's released, if he wants help rebuilding a legitimate life, tell him to call me. No conditions, no strings, just a chance to be better, like someone once gave me." The daughter looked shocked. "Why would you help him?" "Because someone believed in second chances for me. Because kindness creates more kindness. Because that's what my wife taught me." She left without another word, but Amara saw her wipe tears, saw something shift. "You just offered help to your enemy," she said. "I offered help to someone who's suffering. There's a difference. You taught me that." Amara kissed him. "I love you. I love you too, every day, forever." 5 years later, everything had changed. Min Jae had fully legitimized his operations. The old organization was gone, transformed into legal businesses, community programs, protection services that operated within the law. The community center Amara ran had helped over 3,000 immigrants find their footing in Seoul. Min Jae funded it completely but never took credit, just supported from the shadows. They had a daughter, 3 years old, named Min Seo after Min Jae's sister. She had Amara's laugh and Min Jae's quiet intensity. One evening, they visited the old convenience store. It was under new ownership but still open. "This is where it started," Amara said, "where I asked if you were okay. Best decision I ever made. Sitting there, being seen." They bought tea, sat in the same corner where Min Jae had sat 5 years ago, looking sad,
This
looking
proposal
broken,
outlines the key
looking
initiatives
lost.
for the community.
Do you ever regret it? Amara asked. Changing everything, giving up
And
power?
the projected community
Never.
impact?
I traded false power for real strength, control for connection, fear for love. That's not a sacrifice.
What is the timeline for phase
That's an
1?
upgrade.
We aim to begin within the next
Your
quarter.
sister would
And
be
the projected
proud.
community
I hope
impact?
so.
Very
I think
positive.
about her
We can
every
discuss
day,
the details.
about how she wanted me to be better, about how she'd love you, about how she'd spoil Minso rotten. She's with us, in all the good we do, in all the people we help, in the choice to be kind. You believe that? I do, because kindness doesn't die. It just transforms, changes people, creates ripples. Your sister's kindness lives in you. Your kindness lives in everyone we've helped. That's immortality. Minjae pulled Amara close. Thank you. For what? For asking if I was okay, for seeing me, for changing my destiny by simply being brave enough to care. You saved my life. No, you saved yourself. I just asked the question. Sometimes the question is everything. They sat in that corner, where a struggling immigrant had seen a broken mafia boss, where kindness had cracked through armor, where a simple question, "Are you okay?" had changed 2 lives forever, and proved that sometimes the most powerful force in the world isn't fear or control or violence. It's simply one person seeing another's pain and choosing to care. That's
This view
what
is
changes
incredible.
destinies. That's
really
what
is.
transforms
So
darkness.
beautiful.
That's what saved them
Not
both.
as beautiful as you.
And it all started with a
could
woman
stay
brave
here with
enough
you
to ask
forever.
if a dangerous stranger was okay, because
This
she
view is
believed everyone
incredible.
deserved to
It
be
really
seen
is
as human,
so beautiful.
even mafia
Not as
bosses.
beautiful as you.